Hello and welcome to a live episode of What Was That? Because I am in the land of the Mokobara. Seriously, are your luggage belts sponsored by Mokobara? Is everyone at the airport just getting free luggage when you check in?
It's a part of the uniform.
It's a part of the uniform indeed.
Yeah.
I saw some of your national historic monuments yesterday. Ejipura flyover.
Nice.
There's a lot going on at Silk Board.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks very well preserved.
These are all the high points of Bangalore. But on a happier note, we are in Jayanagar, and I'm so glad that Vineet got to see Jayanagar. This is my favorite part of Bangalore.
I like Jayanagar. Yeah. It's quiet. It's got some charm to it.
Yeah.
Of course, a bunch of Insta reels I have seen like to shit on this place also.
No, I'm cynical about a lot of things. Jayanagar is not one.
Jayanagar's nice. I like it.
Yeah, I like it here. On another note, the answer to the question, have you done this before? And the answer being yes, virtually and once early on in real life. I did not expect to get to say that in this context. We are recording live. Vineet is in Bangalore, like I just said.
Yes.
And this is great. We have bookmarked the beginning and end of the year with a live episode, which is really cool.
I went back and saw that episode, and it feels like so long ago. So much has happened since then.
We recorded in what, Jan?
Feb.
We uploaded in Feb. I think we recorded in Jan. So that's been our 2025. And for the first time, just on the thumbnails, you can watch us age, and you can see the tariff spike in the bags under our eyes, and all that stress and uncertainty. It's been really. I've never had a real time, like those clips that go viral of somebody who takes a picture every day and you see them moving. It's kind of like that.
Do you want to simulate that? Like right now, we can do.
But more depressing, as in our outlook got bleaker and bleaker as the year wore on. And yeah, it's been an interesting experiment.
Sorry, we took a brief tech hiatus. We are back now. How's Bangalore been?
You tell me.
I love Bangalore. I love the city. Did you know there's this thing called traffic here these days?
I haven't heard of it.
नहीं ना?
Yeah.
है आजकल. आज Sunday morning. But yeah, I love Bangalore. I love visiting. I'm here for an old person's reunion. 20 years of my batch.
Batch of?
I am Bangalore 2005.
MBA. Okay.
20 years. We're old people now.
Nice. So you're pretentious and old. Bad combination. It's okay. Like I said, we're in Jayanagar. I'm not going to be cynical. For our audience of 6, we had originally planned to do like a year in review of look how far we have come, which is not a lot. But anyways, that's what we had originally planned. However, this has been a really, really interesting week. And I actually have 3 topics, which was our original format. And I'm really excited for each of them. So let's just get to it.
I think, yes, you should do your 3 topics. Then we will start off on a review.
Yeah. Oh, that's ambitious. I don't think we have that much battery life or storage or patience or time in this.
We'll wing it. The year of living dangerously.
First off, Vineet, while I know the answer for our audience, how did you get to Bangalore? Which airline did you use?
The good one, Air India.
Did you ever think you'd say that?
I honestly have always loved Air India.
Yeah?
It's got its quirks, right?
Uh-huh.
And there are those things like the broken pouches. Sometimes on an international flight, the display won't work.
Mm-hmm.
But A, the newer planes are fantastic and kept well.
Yeah.
B, their staff is always amazing. Their staff is, I would say, competent. I always get that sense that they know what they're doing. I am a big fan of Air India. A lot of the complaints I see on Reddit about Air India are from the business class international passengers. I don't have that problem, unfortunately.
Good problem to have, but
I keep my expectations low. I've also seen this whole discussion on, there was this millionaire or billionaire or whatever who was in a long Twitter thread talking about how he prefers coach and he prefers whatever economy class everywhere because then his expectations are low, he's at the back, he's chilling. If he spends for business, then his expectations get way too high and he starts nitpicking. So, but coming back, I am a fan of Air India. I hate Indigo. It's not even that it's a budget airline, so expect this. It is the same price always.
Yeah. That's the problem with the duopoly,
Yeah.
right? They have inordinate pricing power. That's the problem with having any service provider have more than a 50% market share. Vineet's sentiment of I hate Indigo is unsurprisingly a very popular one this week. Uh, if you've been living under a rock, Indigo has been cancelling like thousands of flights left, right, and center, and it wasn't a sudden spike in oil prices or fortunately it wasn't like some air accident or something. This is just a change in rules for how much rest pilots should have between flights, which was notified a year and a half ago. So it isn't a surprise tail event that suddenly, yes, I use that term in an airline story, that suddenly crept up on Indigo. All the airlines were notified of this. They were notified of this a while back, and everybody else complied in the time that they were given, which was a year and a half. Remember, Indigo, for whatever their reasons, said no, fuck it, this is not going to apply to us, or we'll figure it out when we get there. And when we are here, and they haven't figured it out, and it's bad. It's pretty bad. Lots of human interest stories which the media is having a great time with, of missed funerals and missed weddings and
ANI, man. ANI has been interviewing everyone under the sun. ANI has been posting so much. ANI is not whom I would expect to be doing.
no. So that's the reason I wanted to talk about this story. Two aspects of it: the political aspect, which we are two male podcasters who've been doing this for a year. Of course, we have an opinion on the political side of things.
And our opinion is correct, by the way. Our opinion on everything is absolutely.
Of course.
It's fact.
I'll get to that, but there is also a business story. So, notionally it is still in our area of competence. Indigo had, okay, I'm going to use a little creative liberty here, but Indigo had two co-founders. Technically not true, but two main guys leading the team, right? There was Rajiv Gangwal, who was doing the ops side of things, who had an airline background. Both the founders have airline backgrounds, but especially, he was the ops guy in the founding team or the promoter team, let's say. And then you have Rahul Bhatia, who was the finance guy and the politics guy, because you need political weight to run an airline anywhere in the world, especially in India, right? Like we've said, I don't think lobbying itself is a bad thing. You need to interface with the government, especially when you're in a highly regulated, high-touch industry like airlines. Okay, fine, cool. 3 years back, Rajiv Gangwal left Indigo. It was not an amicable parting. So whatever allegations were made then of related party transactions and all that, I'll just put it as a bad divorce. All right, let's not lend too much credence to that. These things happen. But anyways, he said, yeah, he had like a 30% stake, each of them did. And he said, over the next 5 years, I'm going to liquidate this in the open market. I'm no longer a promoter, no longer an insider, not bound by any of these rules. As and when the market permits, I'm going to keep liquidating my stock. And he's under 5% now, if I'm right. So he's been doing that. Now, I think what has happened now is a confluence of both these things, of the ops guy no longer being around to say, yeah, we need to comply with this or it's going to be a problem. And also the balance between execution and how much we can manage with finance and politics has shifted too far in that direction, right? This, whatever the real story is, right now, the way the media is portraying it and the way it looks to the thousands or tens of thousands of people who have been inconvenienced, is that this is somebody who got cocky, who said these rules don't apply to us, and we are going to get a stay or whatever, or get an exemption at the last moment, and therefore we can get away with it, and if not, we'll see when it comes then, right? The balance shifted too far in that direction. You need both halves to balance each other out. So you needed Gangwal to say, let's focus on one type of airline and let's really blow up the fleet. No, I mean expand in that sense. Place these massive orders for aircrafts and therefore negotiate with the Airbus and the Boeings of the world. They are mostly Airbus, but whatever. And since he has left that double engine, I hate that phrase.
Oh God.
Has kind of faltered. Okay, so I think this is the genesis. That was the genesis of the problem that we face now, of actual operational depth not being on the on in management anymore, like real operational experience, and also fuck it, we'll deal with it, being too heavy in the execution side of it.
I read this. Well, again, there's so much information floating around. I don't know what's genuine anymore. I read this figure that they have ordered, of course, so many planes over the last 2 years, but hired zero pilots.
Also what I've seen, but again, there is a proper disinformation campaign going on from all sides right now. Like you said, ANI has also gotten involved. So I would not give too much weightage to any single story right now.
Yeah.
I think everybody is trying to massage the narrative. Indigo issued a full-page apology. Did you see that?
I mean, yeah, but that is not an apology, or it doesn't count. It doesn't mean anything when
No, of course
even
it doesn't.
when the refunds they're doing, they're chopping off so many fees. I have seen so many screenshots on Twitter of people getting like 25% chopped off
Yeah.
from their original
Have
payment.
you seen? I think this is from Rocket Singh. ये तो गधा है, लात तो मारेगा ही. Why are you surprised? उसकी फितरत है.
And uske upar you bring in the aggregators who have their own.
And the other airlines who really made hay, classic supply demand economics. They said, these are the seats we have, we're going to sell them for the highest number that we can. The government stepped in. So that's the second half of my story. The government stepped in yesterday and said, no, the DGCA is no longer handling this situation. We are, the Civil Aviation Ministry, we are handling this situation, and Indigo has to issue refunds by this time. They have to compensate for, they have to return the bags or compensate for them by this time. And they've also put price caps on the other airlines. Like, for this range, you can't charge more than this. Stop price gouging. This is an emergency. Stop doing this. They didn't use the word, but this is extenuating circumstances. So free market principles temporarily don't apply here. Right? So my second half, the political half of my story is, or my opinion, is that this is a fantastic opportunity for the government to kind of allay a little bit its out and out pro-corporate credentials. They have the perfect punching bag in Indigo because it's not interlinked with any other industry, right? And also, it's so beautiful. There is a foreign CEO, so you can kick him really hard.
Yeah.
Right? It's perfect. I hope they don't squander this lovely opportunity to do some
Back to business.
pro public. Yeah, that'll happen in a month or two. But right now, it's perfect. They can interface with the Indigo board and have the CEO served up as a scapegoat. That's half of what a CEO's job is, right? That like Captain America in the origin story, when there's a live grenade, that's the CEO's job to go and lie down on it, and it's perfect. I hope the government follows through and cracks the whip while still maintaining its pro-business credentials. It's a unique opportunity where you get to do that, where you get to have your cake and eat it. So I hope they don't succumb to their baser instincts. Thoughts?
Yeah, agreed.
And please speak your mind. Yes.
On Indigo, I think everyone has already spoken my mind.
No, on politics. Not on Indigo.
No, seriously, why are we in a duopoly? That's a terrible situation to have landed ourselves up in. And yeah, I think the government stepping in with price controls is a good thing. The government does has a role, absolutely, and it's playing it. Let's hope they do it properly. I did not see anything in that press note about 100% refunds. It just said refunds should be issued, but 100% refunds, please. They're still chopping off money. That is absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah.
People are saying, don't expect because folks are saying let the competition in, let Ryanair in and whatnot. Ryanair, famously an asshole airline and proud of it. and then people respond saying ki nahi nahi, then you'll be prepared, like 500 rupees for a glass of water and this and that and this and that. But yeah, that's what Indigo does anyhow.
That's happening
And
anyway. Yeah, that's what.
on top of like full fare. It's not even like we're getting tickets for $1,000 and then layered services, right? We're getting tickets for like 5,000-7,000 bucks and then layered services. So yeah, the government absolutely needs to step in, and I agree that this is a very opportune punching bag. Nobody will sort of, there's no linked, how can I say this without wading into political waters? There's no linked powerful family.
No, so this is common knowledge. Will punishing Indigo affect airport volumes? Because that's the thing we're dancing around, right? No, it won't.
It can't.
It won't, right? Airports are sorted anyways. So some short-term
and
pain, maybe.
it's not like people still need to work, people still need to travel.
Yeah,
the economy is the economy. It's not like one, which is why the stock price also has barely moved, right? Because it's not like people will still fly Indigo.
We should not be discussing stock prices, but hopefully you will. We will edit and put this out when it's already stale. So on that, since that is my actual domain of expertise, I think the stock price didn't move until Friday because the market was expecting Indigo to manage the situation, and the true test will be what happens tomorrow at opening on Monday morning. We are recording this on Sunday the 7th for reference, 7th of December. I think tomorrow morning's opening will tell whether the market really thinks that this is not going to affect Indigo or not. But you're right, until now the stock price has barely moved, considering this is like an existential crisis, at least in the short term.
It is not an existential crisis. They might end up hiring more pilots, good for them. They should hire more pilots. It is existential, and there is no alternative.
They can't just spin up, they can't add pilots. That's how they got here in the first place, looking at humans as an asset to be sweated, just like the...
Like I have literally waited in a bus outside the plane, and then they start offboarding people into other buses. We are all cogs in their efficiency machine.
The passengers certainly, but the crew as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So you can't just spin up new pilots, like a new production line. That doesn't happen. They have since the airlines seem to think in these terms, they have very long lead times. Pilots have long lead times. They need to be trained. They need to be certified for the specific equipment.
And man, pilot training is crazy expensive. It's gotten mad expensive, especially post-COVID somehow. I met a couple of these aviation school guys, and it's gone to like 1 crore is what you need to spend to get to the type rating level.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Yeah. So, no, I don't think this is just going to be a minor blip for Indigo, especially because they flubbed the messaging. That apology, while it did come, was not enough.
I don't think anyone in India really knows how to offer up a genuine apology note anymore. Any company. All large enterprises have gotten, well, I can't say all, right? But what I've seen in the last few, whatever, they've gotten too brazen. What will you do? What are you going to do about it? Like Air India literally copy-pasting their CEO's note after that crash from the United crash it was, or Delta in the US?
I think they didn't. They probably used an LLM.
I can't imagine.
Which got that.
An LLM with a source of one. I've heard that theory. I can't believe that. Like training data is training data. There's no... It's too coincidental that it just served up that same copy-pasted apology note 6 months later.
Maybe.
So yeah, I haven't seen... I don't know how genuine apologies... Indian corporations can even handle genuine apologies anymore, or even globally. Large enterprises have gotten too brazen. They're used to getting away with shit.
Segue to our second story.
Let's.
You go.
What is your second? No, I don't have. I'm just here for the recap.
Netflix.
Oh, Netflix. Yeah. Netflix is buying Warner Brothers, which owns HBO, So Netflix will now own the rights to Succession, one of whose one of that show's major plot lines, in fact, in the last season, I don't even think it's a spoiler to say that, was an old world company with a lot of content, good content, being bought up by a new world streaming tech startup type company with content issues. So, how's that for recursion? Netflix is buying Warner Brothers, and yeah. So what we were discussing before we started was, so these things require approvals, crazy amounts of approvals, and this is the Trump administration, right, which can go any which way, any whenever. And the Trump administration that is now so closely aligned to one billionaire who's second richest person in the world, whose son is now a media magnate, thanks to buying up a lot of stuff, Larry Ellison and his son, right? So you never know which way it will go with all these approvals. But Netflix is everywhere. We have agreed to buy. They sent me an email today morning that they are acquiring Warner Brothers. What is the term? Manufacturing consent.
Yeah.
Manufacturing consensus. They're acting like it's already done. What do you make of that? This is like day one. The process hasn't even started of applying for approvals.
I think they're rightly confident that it'll go through. Because earlier, and this actually ties into the larger theme that I wanted to bookend our year in review with, that the US is now a developing economy. You know, it's in the same place that a lot of us are, that the BRICS are, for fine, let's use that term, which is that earlier, even in the US, you wouldn't know, like, you could have the White House on your side, and there could still be some principled bureaucrat somewhere who says no, this isn't going to happen, or some judge somewhere who says no, by the letter of the law, this deal can't go through, and it actually wouldn't go through. Which is the checks and balances and the US constitution and everything working the way it should, the legal system working the way it should, which is every once in a while it would throw up a surprise. That is not going to happen any longer. The reason Netflix can send out that email is because the fix is in. Yeah. And they know that there is just one hurdle to cross, and they've presumably already crossed it.
Yeah, so large corporations getting too brazen. Yeah, because they know.
That was the theme. Yeah. And the theme of our third story is individuals are also getting too brazen. So we have a brazen theme going today.
We are the only two unbrazen people left in the world. We should start a podcast about that.
Second order effects of Netflix buying Warner Brothers. Do you think there will be more Netflix rides in the Warner Brothers theme park?
Oh God, it's just this slop, right? Content is becoming slop. Netflix is going around saying, their CEO, who looks like he looks like a stereotypical private equity type guy, right? And saying all the stuff that is sure to please the markets,
yeah,
and not caring at all about the cultural impact or whatever. So he's saying, oh, Barbenheimer, right? That whole phenomenon of Barbie and Oppenheimer releasing on the same day, which became such a huge cultural event, right? He says that would have been the same even on streaming. You don't really need halls. He's like, my son has watched Lawrence of Arabia on a phone. He's an editor. It's fine. So, yeah, there is...
Is he rage baiting, or does he actually mean that?
I think he actually means that, or he's talking to his audience, which is only the shareholders and nobody else.
Right.
And also manufacturing consent. So, they genuinely don't care about culture. The whole AI thing, right, of like 2022 end, we were like, oh my God, this is going to cure cancer. This is going to solve global warming. This is going to protein folding, whatever that is. Still, I have no idea, but protein folding is the one example everyone gives. No, we're like getting better at Will Smith eating spaghetti. Right. Why? Because they want to own culture without actually contributing or putting in the work or appreciating. Do you get the sense that any of these AI companies appreciate culture.
No, and that's besides the point. But let me bring you back to Netflix. The fact that they now own the HBO catalog, Netflix and HBO are the two extremes of how you execute good television, good
Yeah.
streaming, right? Netflix goes for volume. They have a few tentpole properties, and the rest is just trash. Like 90% of Netflix's catalog is trash. The shows that they produce themselves are just slop.
Which are the good ones? Recent. It's all algorithmic.
No, no, no. The
Well,
Crown
well.
is nice. The Crown is nice.
Huh, but I don't even call that recent anymore.
Okay.
Like 5, 6, 7 years.
Acha, that way recent. Right now they are leaning hard on Stranger Things, which
Old properties.
I've
Again,
never gotten into. Yeah.
like again, all of tech is about speed running all of earlier development, right?
Yeah.
Stranger Things is also now 10 years old.
Yeah.
Now I think Harry Potter is their next one.
That's in the Warner Brothers.
Oh, I thought Harry Potter was Netflix.
No. Harry Potter.
Well, fair. Now it is Netflix.
Yeah, now it is. So that was the other half. So you have the television where they're threatening HBO, which is like the pinnacle of television. Absolute pinnacle 20 years back, but still doing good work now, right? That's one half of what will happen to prestige television. And the other half is what happens to movies, the big theatrical experiences.
Yeah.
So that's pretty terrifying.
All slop.
That's terrifying. It is.
But also, I haven't really seen what's happening with Hollywood post Avengers, post Marvel.
They're lost themselves.
Exactly.
So, सही है.
So it's not like Warner Brothers or like HBO is a huge loss. HBO has been doing some amazing stuff because they weren't like purely governed by the algorithm. Warner Brothers,
But the back catalog of Warner Brothers, okay, so personal story. Warner Brothers has a park in Abu Dhabi. And in that park, when you enter, because it's in the Middle East, it's like an indoor park, air conditioned and all that. And they've made like this town square kind of space. And you have buildings like you do in these theme parks, right? And they have screens, and every hour or so, they do like a montage reel of all of Warner Brothers properties. And the entire space, which is some 30,000-40,000 square feet, lights up in those colors. And you see the greatest hits of the Warner Brothers back catalog. It'll blow your mind. Everything. The Lord of the Rings is Warner Brothers.
yeah, the thing is, nobody
Potter.
in charge in Warner Brothers also seems like they care about the back catalog. You think David Zaslav cares about culture? When he's burning up Looney Tunes and he's deleting old stuff just to save storage? I don't know. कि my Google Cloud bill is too high, तो पुराने movies के originals delete कर देता हूँ. I mean, none of these suits anywhere, whether on the Warner side or on the Netflix side. None of them care at all about culture or about legacy or about Hollywood or about their own history. So I don't really know if this acquisition is just one conglomerate becoming very powerful and those effects. But other than that, culturally, I don't think Warner Brothers also cared about doing good stuff. Everything is about the algorithm and the stock market now. I don't think anyone on any side of the table gives a shit about culture.
On the plus side, Warner Brothers getting bought and sold is usually a sign of the end times.
Warner Brothers getting bought and sold is just funny.
It's like an indicator of. Okay, we are nearing the end.
It's like Delhi mein restaurants opening and closing. Is Warner Brothers getting sold.
Yeah. So that's always good to see.
Yeah, we might get a good book out of it.
Or a good few movies.
Yeah. I don't think there's any good movies coming out of Netflix, Warner Brothers now.
Yeah.
And no good shows out of HBO. That is my expectation. I don't think we're getting another Succession.
Do you think
Or so many of them, right?
Yeah.
I just keep referencing Succession because I see very little TV, and that
The
is when I saw.
White Lotus will thrive though with more of these assholes to write about. Uh, did we discuss this? I have been to Koh Samui before and after White Lotus. Did we discuss this on the podcast?
I don't know. We have had a quick 2 minute discussion on it, but I don't know if it's on the podcast or not.
Okay, so the latest season of The White Lotus was set in Thailand, in Koh Samui. And I've been to the island before and after the show, that season dropped. And the nature of the average tourist who comes there has changed completely because of that.
Koh Samui always had fancy white people, right?
Families come there now.
Oh, that in that sense.
Yeah.
Families are coming. Oh. Like with kids
Yeah,
and all.
with teenage and older kids. Sometimes even in the mid-20s.
Oh, I thought Koh Samui was all either that one beach, Chaweng, which is where all the party happens,
Yeah.
and everything else is all just resorts for
So
rich white people.
these rich white people are in the resorts, and then in the evening they come down to Chaweng, and that's where you like their own full display. It's so weird. The dynamics of this was a party capital, right?
Yeah.
At least when I went the last time. Yes, again, rich white folks, but they were mostly there for the clubbing, and now it's this family atmosphere there. That changed squarely because of the White Lotus.
Yeah, and now they're going to Europe, right? Next season, I believe, somewhere in Europe.
They started in Hawaii and then Italy and then.
I should watch this show.
Oh, you haven't seen the White Lotus?
I haven't. I don't see TV.
The writers just cut through the essence of people's insecurity so well.
Oh, nice.
So well in that writing, they like it's easy to make fun of people for being pretentious and rich and white, and they do that.
It is very easy and it's fun. Exactly.
Yeah, but also it isn't just one flat joke about haha look another rich white person who is so completely out of touch with reality. They all have their own unique personality traits, and they have their high points and their low points, and it's just such good writing. Just the way the characters are written, the increasingly absurd situations they get in.
Nice. I will watch this.
Oh, please do before Netflix deletes it.
Yeah, I don't think. I think Netflix has a better deal with Google Cloud or with AWS, so they might not delete their back catalog this soon.
The White Lotus is great. The first season, just for its novelty, like knocked it out of the park. But even then, while the setting is the same, it's rich people in a high-end resort. That is the entire premise, and a murder happens, and there's water.
Like in every scene, a murder happens.
In every season.
Oh, in every season, yeah, a new murder in every season. And it's
So
the same white
you
people.
start the season opens with a dead body floating on the water. Like that's a White Lotus trope, and then backstory, characters,
Nice.
the quirks of that place, the locals there, and there is a recurring theme of how high-end tourism is absolutely blind to local culture, and almost inevitably in bad taste.
Amazing. I will watch this.
It's perfect. Like it hits all those notes so well. It sounds bad on paper. Like
It sounds so much fun on paper. I will watch this.
no, they've executed brilliantly, and all on the back of the writing.
But let's jump to your story number 3. Let's move on from Netflix. We have a recap to do.
Story number 3 is just a quick. I can't help but enjoy reading SEBI notices. Yes, I am fun at parties, and the latest one was sent to an influencer who was selling courses on how to do options trading, and he's not a SEBI registered investment advisor, and therefore they said we are going to claw back everything that you earned in fees, and that figure, the amount he earned in fees, was almost 600 crores from selling courses on how to trade better.
Do you want to talk about the
That
names
is
of
the
those courses?
setup. We'll get there. That is the setup. The punchline, which is in the SEBI order, is that the man who was teaching lakhs of people how to trade really well had a terrible trading record. He's lost about 6 crores in the last 3 years. So while I hate that expression of those who can't do teach, it applies here.
Yeah.
The names of the courses.
Papa. Do you remember the full forms?
No.
Let me dig it out. Let me dig that out.
But like I said when we discussed this also, this is classic knowing your audience, man. Papa is perfect. There should have been Papa, Mama, Love Me.
No, you summed it up so well. Mama would be like not relevant for this crowd. This is the animal watching crowd. So,
He's not talking about the Rob Schneider animal.
where are the full names? Where are the full names? Yes. Papa, pay attention to price action. The one that really irritated me was, oh no, so there is one SMM, Secrets of Market Millionaires.
S&M.
SMM.
SMM, okay.
Secrets of Market Millionaires. The one that really irritated me was GEO, which stands for Get Edge Over Others. This should be GU. But this is the course that made him the most money. So
Yeah.
There's Get Ultimate Edge, GU. There is FOAM, Futures Options Made Easy. Then there is Geo Panoramic, Geo Plus. And some very Indian government type names. Aramb, Samanvay. Yeah.
No comment. The second snippet from the order that I loved was our man was doing live trading, teaching ostensibly that look, here is an option, and because of this reason we have done some voodoo technical analysis. I think this option is going to spike, and then it immediately spikes. And he's like, look, the volume is spiking, and the participants in the call are saying, yes sir, we bought as soon as you. So he was causing the volume spike because this is like an illiquid, obscure future, I think, of one stock, and the Indian options market is not that deep. Okay, outside of the indexes, the options they're not liquid, so you can move the price around very easily, and that's what happened. Even he was surprised. How am I right? Why am I not making money on this?
But also लोग मुझे सुनते हैं. तुम लोगों ने एक्चुअली खरीद लिया, तुम्हारे चेहरे पे नेवर माइंड.
In closing, I think the man just chose the wrong vocation. He would have had just as much success if he had opened a dance academy.
Oh, that video is quite amazing.
Yeah. So, just find your calling and stick to it, please.
But finding your calling is difficult, na? What is your calling? What is calling? When everyone says be yourself, what is yourself?
If the choices are being a stock market fraud and teaching kids how to dance, I think it's pretty easy, no?
One of them gets you 634 crores.
Yes, but the other one keeps you out of jail.
We are only talking about the guy who got caught. You think he's the only guy in the market?
No, of course not. Yeah. So, what's our lesson here? Karo, but thoda hi. Or
I think
make a song and dance about it.
I think we had the same tatparya when we discussed the other SEBI order, right? Ki 174 crores, like karo, but thoda karo.
Yeah.
And we discussed the radars and clouds then also. So yeah.
That's it. Let's
get to the
go
recap on that note.
You've come prepared.
What are your favorite stories from the year?
My favorite theme, like I said, was the US is an emerging market. That was absolutely my favorite theme of the year because it came back so often of watching a sophisticated regulatory regime implode. That was fascinating for me. I enjoyed the distinction between liking what Lenskart does as a customer and not having the same opinion as an investor. So very rarely do you get to illustrate that so clearly. We
I
got to see that.
am you your influencer era, right? Is what got me this. And you didn't even give me a 10% discount. Your coupon code did not work.
Chomutan didn't work.
Chomutan did not work. Yeah.
So I like that.
We had a lot of discussions, especially earlier in the year, and then I think we got bored of them. Our two space age billionaires.
No. Yeah.
Yeah. Like at one point, till one point, I was tracking how long it would take us in the discussion to get to Elon Musk. And then Mr. As you put him rightly, Misho Elon Musk, Mr. Bhavish Agarwal, we are in his town. Don't attack us. So, yeah. And you've also given our geolocation away. Yeah. You have doxed us.
I think if they're going to raid us on Ola scooters, we are safe.
They might park Ola scooters downstairs.
Blockade us. Okay. But yeah, that was also an interesting story to follow. The trials and tribulations of Ola Electric. Yeah, that was a fun story. I enjoyed that as well.
Yeah, I did a lot of course, AI bubble talking. A few of my theses I still stand by them. That there is no consumer use case for AI that can actually make people money. I think that's been one of my themes throughout the year. Still true. The hardware, fun fact, today morning I looked up what is going on with Johnny Ive and IO. Right, which was how we got there was like we discussed earlier in the year on AI hardware on the consumer side.
Yeah.
The two devices, the humane pin, which was just looks like this mic type thing but bigger and bulkier, which is supposed to broadcast a laser sort of screen onto your hand, and people used it for precisely nothing. And Rabbit R1, which was have you guys seen those handheld consoles where you can play Super Mario on those really old world whatever things, right? Like one of those. And all that was like an Android wrapper. So just use your damn phone. So my thesis was between the phone and the earbuds, and maybe the AR glasses if they take off. I'm still skeptical of those also. There will be a cultural backlash. We have the devices we need to run AI, and therefore people won't make money off of it on the consumer side. Yeah, so the third launch after these two flubbed was Johnny Ive getting together with Sam Altman with OpenAI to announce a new product called IO. So today morning I looked up what's going on there, and if I sort by top news, the last is just the announcement from July.
Yeah.
If I sort by latest, between the announcement from July and today, 2 days ago, there was an announcement that they're not allowed to use the name IO anymore because of a court case. So no activity, nothing going on there. At least nothing that we've heard of. They could be launching this mega amazing product next week, but
a couple of things. One, I want to call out and appreciate how much you've expanded my understanding of LLMs broadly. Because until we started this podcast, I had stayed away from using them, from having an opinion on them, to in the same way that I stayed away from the entire crypto boom. कुछ हो रहा है, and चलता रहता है. That's it. That was my opinion on it. So these sessions have, now I'm making it sound like therapy, but have made
podcasts. That's what they are.
Yeah, have helped me develop a more nuanced understanding of LLMs in general. So I wanted to thank you for that. Second, when you keep talking about the topic du jour every Saturday, you tend to hit your own Simpsons moments, right? We spoke about Satish Shah a few weeks before he passed.
Yes.
Incidentally.
Yes.
And second, okay, that was like a pop culture thing. But second, we also kind of preempted ChatGPT allowing checkout within its own space.
Yes.
Right? As in, that is the logical conclusion of this if it is to be a viable business.
Oh, bookmarking that, we will come back to the DoorDash thing. There is an update there, interesting one, but yes, we will come back to
But it was clear, if you sit and meditate on this topic for a week, an hour every week, that is the only way that it can go if they want to monetize.
Yeah.
And yes, it will lead to commodification of your DoorDashes and Zomatos and Booking.coms of the world. And so will they push back, or are they just going to see this as a great short-term play and allow themselves to be onboarded on the platform? That remains to be seen. I think that is where you're going to.
I have an update there.
Yeah, but it was cool to preempt that, to see it coming, even though I don't think either of us read it somewhere, but it was just the logical space.
Yeah. Everyone wants to be the one interface, right?
Yeah, right. So that was cool to see.
Yes. No, the AI thing has been fun to follow all year. It's been interesting. What else on the AI side? We discussed how AI writing is getting, so there are tells, right? How you can tell if something is written by AI. Funnily enough, it seems that, so I've always called it like lowest common denominator writing, right? People will devolve into, it will sound similar. And we had this thing where here are 10 different ways to tell if something is written by AI. Now I feel that 10 has also shrunk to like 5. AI writing
the LLMs read those articles as well, right?
No, it has become more and more homogeneous.
Okay.
Yeah, because now it's like, in fact, I was reading this week, very interesting, whether it's an article or a tweet thread or whatever, that most of AI writing now is, it's not this, it's this. It's not just this, it's this. So every other paragraph, you write a 10 paragraph article using GPT, 5 of those paragraphs will start with, it's not this. It's actually, so it is setting up a hypothesis that you might believe and then saying, no, you're wrong. It's mansplaining. And I was like, oh yeah, that makes sense. That is actually what it's trying to build up. It's building up a straw man. It's building up, you might believe this, but you are wrong. Let me tell you. So that, and it is everywhere. That one tell. I don't think I can, and again, I use a lot of ChatGPT, right? Whether you call it hypocrisy or just, like, I read about the financial bubble more than, there are B2B use cases for sure. But I don't think I can tell it to write any kind of article. And I've created personas of, okay, write in this way, write in this way, write in this way. Like invoke Ralph, invoke Anna. Like literally I have created those. So it still devolves into using those M dashes. It still devolves into, it's not this, it's this. It's entirely homogenized how people write on the internet. So it's gotten worse in that sense, not better, which is very funny to me.
I am an avid newspaper reader, actual print newspaper, and more in articles. In local news coverage, you find that construct, and it pisses me off so much that I stop reading.
You know what? The popular theory is that people don't notice these things, but I think people immediately do and they check out.
It
is
jumps
flop.
out. Yeah, it jumps out to you. It really does.
Even if you aren't mentally making the association. See, my job is to, like, part of my role as the startup, the content guy in the startup, the marketing guy, is to be aware of these things and write accordingly and like teach my team to write accordingly, right? Yeah. So I am more hyper aware than most people. But I think even the person whose job doesn't depend on it, is noticing these things and mentally checking out. Yeah. So, and yeah, like that Dawn article, which we should add a screenshot of, the last paragraph in that was quite something. We discussed this year that maybe we should do this. You can buy ad space on Times Square for $150. It will show your ad like on one of those massive screens
for a few seconds.
For a few seconds at a time over an hour.
Yeah.
So that you can take a photo and then you can share it on your LinkedIn.
That we are in Times Square. Yeah. Like those influencers who went to Cannes. Same thing. Same principle. We are on hallowed ground. Not really. You paid your way here.
Should we do it? $150.
Totally worth it.
6,500 rupees each. Let's do it before the exchange rate goes up even further. So if you see us on a billboard in Times Square,
It's your fault.
start subscribing. Patreon. Dude, that 6,500 rupees each has to come from somewhere. What else was, I think, without getting too many specifics? In certification, I think that was a good rant. That was a good rant to get out of the way. That was a interesting discussion for me. Builder.ai was one of my favorite stories that again just completely blew over. People forgot about it 2 weeks later. But that was the startup that completely imploded after raising like hundreds of millions of dollars because it turns out the AI in builder.ai was actually Indian. Yeah. So yeah, software engineering it was a software agency disguised as an AI coding platform.
Which is on brand, no? For the life and times that we are in. I have joked about this privately, and this is also a joke. We could start a, what was that, ETF? The stocks that we've discussed have actually had great runs afterwards.
Oh God.
Multiple ones, right? That was surprising. I really enjoyed doing a deep dive on Asian paints, and the stock has recovered.
Cupid condoms.
Cupid, so what do I say? I'm actually invested, although that was squarely in the small cap space that I do actually do research and investing in. But even otherwise, so that was the second thing that I was grateful for this podcast, because for stories I did deep dives into companies, listed Indian companies that I wouldn't have covered otherwise. Because they're not in my core competence, they're not in my, let's face it, field of interest, and so I would not have dug that deep. Like TCS, I would not have gone as deep as I did. Titan, I would not have gone as deep as I did. And at various times, I've actually had positions in multiple Tata stocks because I could see the story and I had an opinion on it. And this is not investing advice. I may not be invested on the day that this podcast drops. Please decide for yourself. But my larger point is, in talking about these stories week over week and having to do the diligence, even if they're not particularly relevant professionally, I actually found a couple of interesting investment ideas or antithesis for why I should not be invested in a company that I really liked. So I'm grateful for that.
It's been great. I think I've gotten better at reading financial news over the course of the year, picking out stuff. Partly because of all the Indian stocks that you discuss, and partly just because of this AI stuff that I get into.
Yeah.
So it's been interesting. Yes.
We're more aware of the undercurrents.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And that's the consolation we have for a year of work.
I hate that there has been no progress on antitrust.
It's not going to happen, man. Look at our story.
I am still. You have to believe in something, right? You have to be optimistic about something. You have to.
नहीं, ये वाला तो नहीं होगा.
Can't be a cynic about everything in life. I'm still holding, but हाँ नहीं होने वाला.
नहीं, you're catching me at my anti-cynical best. Like I said, we're in Jayanagar.
Yeah.
But even here, even in this lovely space, antitrust तो नहीं होने वाला है. We have to pick our battles, and that is a losing one.
We have both made a lot of fun. So I was clicking through some of the episodes yesterday and today morning of libertarians. I call it out more, but you go deeper. I just stick to the stupid terms like anarcho-capitalism, which San Francisco tech bros love calling themselves. Because libertarian is probably not a cool enough term for them anymore. They need their own. Anarcho-capitalism, look it up, people. It is that
Don't
silly.
look it up. Don't. There's nothing to be gained there. है वो एक buzzword है. That's all.
$150 में होर्डिंग लगा देंगे. Yeah, I think that was the fun part. Studio Ghibli was a nice moment in time, which has turned. You generate any image on ChatGPT, it will look slightly yellow. It will look like it has been through a piss filter. I think that one Studio Ghibli trend seems to have done something. And even Studio Ghibli doesn't look yellow.
Or is it like the Breaking Bad Mexico filter?
Could be. कि ये जापान से आया तो ये भी exotic बना दो, तो yellow कर दो. And now everything, thanks to that, looks yellow.
And there's nothing racist about that. No?
It's an AI filter. I am not making the AI filter. Therefore, I am not racist.
That's it?
I think that is it.
All right. Thank you so much for listening. Thanks to Vineet for taking the time and visiting us in sunny Bangalore. Although I think he just wanted to be here for the AQI.
Yeah, of course.
Keep coming, man.
I need to get out of Delhi more. So, absolutely. Yeah. I will keep coming. And thanks, guys, for tuning in through the year.
Thank you so much.
I know I keep saying all 6 of you, but there's probably 8. So, we appreciate you.
Yeah, it's a lot of time to put in week after week. Ask us. So we're equally glad that you're putting in the time as well. To whoever's watching this, whenever you're watching this, thank you so much. You're great.
Yes, and see you guys next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.